in a digital world which is dominated by all these distractions with screens, board games is one of the only things that is left where you can get real people into a real room and have real conversations and sort of basically sort of threaten and, you know, cajole and lie to without meaning it, if you know what I mean. And that's priceless, you know. You can't get better than that. I've got a lot of respect for anybody who's willing to stick their neck above the trenches and willing to get it shot off by some arsehole troll on the internet. You know what I mean? I don't care what you do, whether it's board games or not. You know, YouTube is fantastic, and if you've got the balls to actually sort of, you know, put your face on camera and absorb some of the apathy that's out in the world, then yeah, fair play to you. You know, sometimes you get like messages from people that say that what you've done has made a difference to their life, and I find that hard to believe. But I've had a few messages, like you say. There's one message I got from some guy saying that he used to play board games with his old man, and he found my channel. He thought board games were for geeks and all that. He's found my channel. He's managed to reconnect with his old man. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, bloody hell, you know what I mean? I was like, this can't be real. It's just like, why would anyone listen to me for? So it's like messages like that are sort of tug on your heartstrings just that little bit, because, you know, I've got sort of a heart made of coal in a sense. So anything that can sort of warm that up a little bit, you know, is a good thing.
That's what I was going for. I wanted to prove that Board Game Bollocks actually has a heart. How you doing?
How's it going?
Did you work today?
No, I've just had a week off.
I thought you'd already had a week off. How does your work?
Well, I took a week off because I just run 100 miles. I just done a 100-mile ultra marathon, so I need time to recover from that. You know what I mean? So.
Which ultra did you do?
Yeah, I ran from Richmond in London to Oxford, which was about 104 miles. So,
have you done that before?
Not too bad. I've done a few 100-milers. Yeah, all for charity. Yeah, so it's all right.
Oh, I had no idea. I was training and got hurt and had done trail marathons and stuff, and then just got all fat. But I was obsessed with the Barkley marathons and all of the different hundreds here. Yeah. I watched all the stuff, got all hyped up, and, you know, trained too fast, got hurt, you know, all of that, all of the above. But now I don't have a job.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of, you know, losing some weight and getting back after it. But it's been like 7 years. It was right before COVID, and then COVID hit, and I went to shit.
there's no excuse to not start again, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. I do remember though how slow it was, because I went from 0 to marathon and trail marathon, which, you know, is just it's a different ball game than a normal road marathon. And it was so slow and just so full of injuries as well, because I wanted to go, like, my brain wanted to go so much faster. I remember the first time I hit 8 miles, and I was just so incredibly hyped.
Yeah.
And I think I got shin splints right after that. I was out for like 6 weeks. I had a buddy that's an Iron Man, and he, you know, I was like texting him, was, yeah, fuck yeah, I just did 8 miles, and oh, good job. And then literally like a few days later, he's like, hey, you want to go for a run? I was like, no, I'm fucked.
Yeah,
how many miles are you doing a week?
It all depends what I'm doing. You know, obviously for this, I was getting up to about 70 miles a week. You know, but I run slow. I'm old now, so I'm not one of these people that goes mental and sort of tries to run as fast as I can. You know, slow the better. That's why I like the long distance races. You know, so you've got an excuse to not go mental. So.
Well, it's funny you say that. You know Jim Walmsley?
No, I don't actually. No.
So he's an American. He won UTMB, I think 2 years ago, but he's won all the races over here, all the ultras. Right. But he said he has more respect for the guy in the back of the pack, because they're the people that are out there forever. He's like, I could never do that. He's in and out. He's first one out. I have a ton of respect for the old geezer in the back that's barely making it, because he's out there in the wilderness forever. So
yeah, so
props to you for
some
that.
of these people. I think this Thames Path I just done, I think the first place finisher was like 15 hours. It's insane. I mean, I don't know. I really don't. I mean, that's like 8-9 minute miles. Madness.
And that's essentially what this guy averages is like 7 to 8 over 100 plus, and it's just
No.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how you do it. So do you on your 100 milers? Are they trail or are they road? Both?
Yeah, this one was obviously because you're coming out of London, 25% of it's on the road, and then you just go out and just follow the river, and you can't get lost because there's always a river on one side or the other. See, so yeah, it's all right. It's good.
Well, that's that Jim Walmsley guy. He got lost at he had like a world record going for oh gosh, I think it's a Hard Rock, and he just made one wrong turn at the very end because he was so delusional and like hallucinating. You ever get that kind of like hallucinations when you're out there?
Yeah, only once. I think I was running across the South Downs in southern England, and I think we got to about 80 miles, and I thought I saw a bear, but it was a cow. So apparently.
Well, at least something was there, because there's a lot of people that talk about, especially when they're at night, because when you're the slow guy, you're running at night, right? All throughout the night, those shadows start to turn into all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So
you ain't got bears in England, have we? So.
Oh, you don't have bears in England?
Well, not to my knowledge, unless they're on the South Downs.
That's pretty funny then. Now, were you scared, or did you realize like, oh shit, there's no bears in England, or were you just like, oh, there's a bear, I'm out?
I've actually got a phobia of cows, so I was sort of like a double-edged sword. So, you hear stories about people getting killed by cows, don't you? So I was a bit nervous about that. So,
what kind of cows do you have over there in England?
Killer cows.
I don't think they're killing people out here, but I guess anything is possible.
Maybe we're in Port Summer. I don't know.
Yeah. So I appreciate you doing this. We kind of played some tag a little bit. I think this is around your dinner time. What is this? 5 p.m. in Sheffield?
Yeah, I've just had my curry, so yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. I know my schedule is on the West Coast, and we're on different sides of the globe. You're actually the person that the furthest away from me. I think I have one. Oh. I have a group coming up in Latvia, Board Game Hangover. But I think you're the furthest one. Tom Vassal was the next furthest that I had just done. So I appreciate you.
It's probably lucky for you being that furthest away. Actually, probably.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, we could get into that. So basically, I want to pull as many clips out of you to just flood the algorithm with you talking all kinds of shit, and then get board game famous. Is that fine? So this is my NSFW episode. Feel free to say whatever you want. There's no censorship with anything I do, and I appreciate. That's why you're here. Is I appreciate, or that's why I reached out to you, not why you're here, because I appreciate your candor. I appreciate you just kind of not giving a shit and telling it like it is. Some people don't. You're one of the most polarizing figures in all of board games, but I feel like there's probably a nice guy in there. Do you think?
Probably about 7.5%, probably. In my big toe, I reckon.
Yeah. So take me back. We're already recording, by the way. So all of this is in. I'll do a little intro, but that's for another time. But take me back, 1978, almost 50 years ago. First of all, I didn't know you're that old. You look good. It's probably because you're running ultras. What first hooked you? You did this story like 6 years ago, and only like 200 people saw it. Nobody watched that video. So like, bring us back.
Was it that long ago? Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm 52 now. I mean, it's insane, isn't it? I mean, time just goes so quickly. But yeah, 1978. I mean, I started playing games when I was about 3 or 4. I remember my sister had this like game called The Magic Robot. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like a really ancient game from like the 1950s or something. But it's like this like green plastic robot that sits on something like a magnet or something. So you ask a question, and you turn this robot to some part of the board or something, and then you flick a switch and then put the robot on this magnet, and it spins and goes to the correct answer. And we could never figure out how it worked. It was like sort of magic in a sense. Do you know what I mean? And
did it actually do the right answer?
Yeah. It did.
Oh.
I mean, it's probably some dumb, stupid magnet thing. I don't know how it works, but at the time, at the age of 4, I was sort of sat there thinking, "What the hell is this? This is sorcery." You know what I mean? And that's at that point that sort of hooked me, and I'm thinking like, "Wow, do you know what I mean? This is insane." As a 4-year-old, how does this work? You know what I mean?
I see it now. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Have you got a link to it? Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll put it up in the interview. But yeah.
Right. All right. Yeah. Yes. I mean, there's another game that we had in the 70s called I can't remember. It's like a turtle race thing, but it had like this sort of plastic professor. So you'd have a card, and you get to a roadblock with your turtle, and you'd have a card, and you put it into the base of this professor, and the professor would either nod or shake its head as to whether or not you could actually go through the roadblock. And again, you'd be like, how does this work? Is this geezer alive? Is there an imp in there or something? You know what I mean? It's like, so
Are you playing witchcraft? Is this like a Ouija board or something? Like,
well, I don't know. My parents are religious, so maybe my house is like haunted or something. You know what I mean? Maybe there's some sort of demon in my old house or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
everyone else is watching this is like, that game didn't do that. It was wrong all the time. You need an exorcist.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's those sort of games that, as a child, it's sort of fascinating. It's okay, sort of moving bits around the board. We played Monopoly and all that sort of thing, but it was something that was different, if you know what I mean, like add a hook or maybe like a gimmick, I guess. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But we played all those games like Monopoly, and I know people give Monopoly a load of shit, don't they? They say it's the worst game ever made, blah 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 blah. I'm actually thankful that these shit games exist, because it's like a springboard into something else. If Monopoly didn't exist, you wouldn't have, like 99% of people would never play board games, would they? Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, 100%. And you then kind of you tell this story about going to Christopher's and picking up some books. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Christopher's in Winter Road. I mean, there was this thing in school. There's like a book club called the Chip Club. Right, and some mates of mine, because we were poor when I was a kid, we didn't have nothing. My parents didn't have any money or anything, so we were never allowed to get books from the Chip Club. And my mates got these game books called Grail Quest. I don't know, it's written by some guy called J.H. Brennan. And I was like, well, I'd really love to read one of them. And I went home. I said, look, can I have one of these books from the Chip Club? And my mum's like, no, we can't afford it. We've got to get gruel for dinner. So they said, look, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go down to Christopher's in Winter Road, and you can have a book from there because they're cheaper. So we went down there, and I'm looking along the shelves, and I'm thinking, oh, I can't see Grail Quest there. So I saw these fighting fancy game books by like Ian Livingstone and Steve Jackson. And there was one called The House of Hell. And I'm appropriate. Like, this is going to really fuck off my parents. So I pulled it off the shelf, and it had like human sacrifice in it. And like all the rooms in the house were like named after like demons and shit, and my parents didn't care. They were I'm like, how did you become so liberal?
Catholic?
No, they're like happy Baptists, So yeah, they had
and your mom saw this
side.
The Hell House, and she was just like, oh, it's gonna be fine.
No,
little did she know there was already ghosts in your games, or demons in your games. Making them alive. How perfect. Okay, this is turning into a horror story. Keep going.
Yeah, so I just sort of devoured it. Do you know what I mean? I saved up my pocket money, my 2p a week, or whatever it was, and just basically ended up buying the whole lot. And I don't know, as you get older, a little bit older, sort of 12 or whatever, you found out that there was like a game called Dungeons and Dragons. Found that out, picked that up, got into that. Ended up sort of, all the cool kids from school used to play it. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like a geeky thing at school. You were sort of like,
what year was this?
If you ended up playing D&D. I was about 12. So this must have been 1985, 86.
So D&D's heyday. I think if I got caught playing D&D in school, I would have had my ass kicked. So it's a little different.
No. It was completely opposite. We had all the geeks like wanting to come and play it. We were like, no, fuck off, and we beat them up. So it was like a complete opposite, like a parallel universe,
Yeah, so how long did you play D&D? And you were playing at lunch in Mr. Lodge's class, right? I did my research.
That's right. Blimey, yeah, Mr. Lodge, he was fantastic. He let,
Now,
he let
was
us make
Mr.
our own
Lodge
board games, didn't he?
a perv, or he just liked to let you guys hang out in his class?
Well, I think he's dead now, so I'm not going to speak ill of the dead. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. But he was an amazing teacher. He let us make our own board games, yeah. And we made, me and this geezer called Stuart Green. We made this like you heard of Car Wars, yeah. Like we made like a variation of that, basically a rip off of Car Wars. But yeah, all the other games are like roll and move games. You know what I mean? People like done a sort of a Barbie roll and move game, and then we wheeled out our sort of Car Wars derivative, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, what on earth is this?" You know, it's like the sort of circus coming into the class. You know, it's insane. Yeah. So
did you have a bunch of kids playing it?
yeah, everyone wanted to play it. Yeah, I don't know if the rules worked. I think we just probably made it up as it went along. You know, so
Yeah.
but yeah.
So how long did you play D&D at lunch in school? Was it just this 1 year?
No, until we left school. I sort of went into the sort of big school and sort of lost touch with it a little bit, you know, because obviously there's more kids from different schools and that, but you still played it at weekends and things like that, you know. Yeah.
Did you ever play it again? Do you do any sort of like role-playing games now? You don't strike me as that type of guy, frankly.
What in what sense? I mean, what is that type
I don't
of
know.
guy?
Well, so like, you know, I'll call it. I want to understand. Is the persona you? And it seems more serious than somebody that would go and kind of play pretend with a bunch of other people around a table. No judgment at all. I'm actually starting to soften to the idea because I did think for a long time for nerds, but I think it's kind of cool now. So no judgment, but it just didn't strike me as and I haven't heard you talk about it on the channel either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't play it as much as I used to because you know, it's sort of there's certain. I mean, I like the old original AD&D, you know, the first edition. I mean, I played a bit of second edition, didn't touch the third, fourth, and I played a bit of the fifth edition. But if I have to play it, I will go back to the first edition. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's like a bare bones rule set. There's no holding your hand or anything. It doesn't even tell you how to play the fucking game, for God's sake. You know what I mean? You've got to figure that out yourself. It even tells you in the rule book to find somebody else who already knows how to play it. You know what I mean? That's how insane it is. But once you get that past, once you get over that hurdle, there's nothing. It doesn't tell you how to play the game. It's like just a bare bones rule set that you can adapt for yourself and sort of put your own stamp on it, if you know what I mean. Whereas all the other ones, all the other editions, I mean, I don't want to get into edition wars or anything, but all the other ones, they seem to be sort of, they guide you in a certain direction. And, you know, I wasn't really interested in that sort of thing, you know.
Yeah, I started watching just D&D content just to be curious. And I actually follow a few creators now. It seems really ornate now. Like it seems incredibly in depth, all of the different characters. And one of the things that struck me that is odd or something I didn't like is it seems like and I could be totally off, but like the DM can basically make up fucking rules as they go. But I don't know how stringent that is in the manual. That would piss me off because they can choose whether to let you roll or tell you when to roll a skill check or whatever it might be. Like I need clear win conditions, and I don't need somebody messing with me at the front of the table.
Yeah, I mean, now it's like a dungeon master might sort of pretend to roll a die and say, "Oh, you know, you're all right. Yeah, it's fine." They rolled a roll that would kill you. Whereas in AD&D, if you rolled shit, you rolled shit, and that was the end of it. You know, I remember taking like a level 1 wizard into some killer dungeon with 1 hit point. You know, and it was like. You could only have like a knife with you. You couldn't wear armor. Now you'd have like a superhero wizard with like superpowers and plate mail and all that shit, you know. And the part of the fun was that you knew the kid who was the dungeon master, which was usually me, was trying to kill you. So the skill was trying to evade. They played by rules as well, which was the great thing. They didn't fudge the rules. You knew exactly if something went wrong, it was on you. You know. There was no. Everyone had a set of playing by the rules, and you knew that there was a certain skill in it. Now it's just like theatre. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just,
Well, yeah, that's what a lot of people describe it as, is it's more of a storytelling activity rather than a game.
Yeah.
See, if you explained it to me that the DM is trying to kill me and there was like this back and forth push, I'm all in. Like I would love that.
Yeah.
If Board Game Bollocks was my DM trying to kill me, I'm playing D&D right now. That sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
Have you played?
I remember once.
Go ahead.
I stuck my mates in a big human washing machine once. You know, they
Oh, really?
funnily enough, they went in there. Yeah. So it's the first
Idiots.
cycle, you know, rinse cycle.
Yeah. How'd you convince them to go into the washing machine?
Well, they had dirty clothes, didn't they? So
yeah. Okay, there you go. Have you played Lairs, the KTBG game where you're building your dungeon for another? Yeah.
That's a new one. Yeah. No, I've not played it yet. No.
It just reminded me of trying to kill somebody else because you create the dungeon. It's kind of like a battleship where you can't really see the other dungeon, and then you have a piece of paper that you're trying to go through and navigate it, find treasure, defeat monsters. It has a ton of potential. I only have the base game, but I think they really screwed people because they gave hardly any content. It's sort of a cheap price point at $40, but now I fell so in love with it. Now I have to go spend another $50 to get 2 other expansions. So now all of a sudden it's $100 game, which kind of pisses me off. It's kind of everyone's giving it great reviews, but
you recommending it then? Is it worth going to get?
Oh yeah. Well, I think the system's great, and one of the things that I didn't give enough credit for was how fun it is to actually build the dungeon. The whole first part is you actually building the dungeon on your side and trying to figure out, you're kind of playing a mind game, right? And I always play with my wife, so it's there's kind of a meta, like she knows what kind of dungeons I built in the past, so how can I mess with her head this time around? How can I set traps in different places? It's actually brilliant. It's a brilliant system. There's just not enough content. They give you one monster and one type of trap. But if you go by the expansion, there's different monsters, there's different traps, there's things that you unlock. The walls, some of the walls are different characters. So I bet it's going to be wonderful once I spend $100 on this stupid game. Oh, I just switched my view. Hold on. Oh, there we go. We're back. All right. So D&D, you then transitioned to Games Workshop games.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a magazine called White Dwarf. Yeah, you sort of picked that up. Got into sort of board games from Games Workshop before they put all their eggs into the Warhammer basket. You know, Warhammer was there, but they produced like a set of games. They got hold of the Cosmic Encounter license. They produced a game called Dungeon Quest. There's a couple of fighting fantasy games released, like that sort of tried to put the books into a board game form. They did the Warlock of Firetop Mountain and something called the Legend of Zagor, which had like a 1K computer chip in it that allowed the game to speak to you for some bizarre reason. Yeah, the game sucked, but I mean, it had a computer chip in it, which was like sort of fantastic. Yeah, like Blood Bowl was another one that was fantastic, but then they stopped making games themselves and moved over to like Warhammer 40K, and I wasn't really interested in those sort of miniature war games, so I sort of stopped playing games. Really, I started getting into weed and birds, you know what I mean? So yeah, sounds a bit weird, doesn't it?
That's basically what happened to me as well. Video games and weed, and it took me a few years to get out of that.
Yeah,
that's probably why now I'm currently unemployed doing interviews about board games on the internet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So did you start playing video games at that time? Because you've always said like games have been a big part of your life forever.
Yeah, I mean, I went off to university, and I've done a degree in media and film, and then I've done a master's degree in, I suppose you could call it like philosophy after that. So that took up a hell of a lot of time. But you sort of play video games, and I hadn't discovered like Euro games at this point. I was still going back to the games I had at home. The old Games Workshop games. Like we still played D&D when we were at uni and that. So yeah, once that was over, I come back and I getting a job to try and pay off my student loan, which was like tens of thousands of pounds. And a guy at work was saying, like, we were chatting about all the old games, and he mentioned Blood Bowl. I'm like, fucking hell, I played that years ago. You know what I mean? He's like, I actually got a copy. Let's, for nostalgia purposes, let's go back and have a game of Blood Bowl. And I found a few of my other old games in the loft. You know, dragged them out, played them for a number of years, and then I was just going through YouTube. I didn't realise that there was sort of like a board game YouTube type thing. You know what I mean? I'd never heard of Tom Vassal, never done any of that stuff. And like a lot of people, you sort of find Will Wheaton's Tabletop, don't you? You know, remember that series from years and years ago? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, bloody hell, there's all these different types of games out there. Do you know what I mean? And so you sort of just start ticking them off the list, don't you? You know, and before you know it, you're surrounded by. Well, I don't know. I don't like to say. My wife knows exactly how many games I've got, but I always tell her shut up when she mentions it. You know.
Yeah, it gets out of hand. It's funny you mentioned Will Wheaton. You actually unlocked a memory. I tell everyone the story about finding Wingspan and just not even understanding that a board game could have like this incredible production, beautiful art, and I didn't know. Say what you want about Wingspan. Like for me at that point, it was a 10. But you actually unlocked the memory. It all started really with Ticket to Ride because I watched Will Wheaton playing Ticket to Ride years back, and that's the only game we ever knew. We basically played that to death for years, and it drove me insane until I just stopped playing it anymore, and I couldn't find any other games that played it 2 players at that point. But yeah, I think my origin story has to change now because I totally forgot. I watched that Will Wheaton series and found board gaming there. It's kind of too bad that's not on anymore. I like those videos.
It was fantastic. I mean, it's sort of, I think like a lot of things, money took over, didn't it? It started, I think they crowdfunded one season and it was shit. And I think he got involved in other stuff, and some of the later episodes, he fucked the rules up, and then it just disappeared off the face of the earth. And I was like, that in a way, that is why I sort of started doing this in a sense, because I was thinking, I started looking for like a replacement, sort of shut up and sit down, and so all the other channels and that, and I'm like, these people, they're not like me. They don't speak to me. They're like posh boys. I mean, they're probably really, really nice people. I'm not slagging them off or anything. They do a wonderful job. Their channel's fantastic. Fantastic, lovely blokes, but these posh little schoolboys never spoke to me. You know what I mean? They don't come from where I come from. I live in a naval city. It's rough. It's not a very nice place to live. And I thought, well, maybe I could start my own channel, talk about board games, and sort of speak to myself in a sense, because I do that quite a bit. But I thought, yeah, fuck it, why not? Let's just do it. I mean, my first video was just like me talking to an iPhone 4 or something about railways of the world, and looking back now, it's fucking terrible, absolutely horrific. I mean,
I watched some of your early stuff. No, I watched it. It was shit.
But you make mistakes. You learn by making mistakes. You learn by screwing up, right? And I'm not saying my stuff's any good, but if you look at the early stuff and then you look at what it's like now, it's like miles apart, because you learn how to edit videos, just get lighting right and all that stuff, and get decent sound, and you try new things. People moan at me when I try new stuff, but I just turn fuck off at the end of the day.
Well, it's funny. Yeah. Your style. In fact, I was just talking to Alex from Board Game Co, and he said mentioned you always have great lighting and great production. And I remember in fact this morning I watched your origin story, and it is just you with like basically looks like the camera's down on your crotch, looking straight up to the ceiling. And it is funny when you look back at those old ones, right? Yeah, I try to get a little better every time myself. Like, I remember the first time, I think I was unboxing some Too Many Bones stuff or something like that. That was the first video I made, and I can't even go back and watch it now. But I remember I was nervous. Nobody else was in the room. My heart was beating. I was actually nervous because I knew I was about to put this thing out on the internet and people were just going to shit all over it. But at that time, I was actually proud of it. I looked at it. I was like, that's pretty good. But then you go back and you look at it now, you're like, oh, what the hell was I doing?
That's the hardest thing, isn't it? Is turning on the camera at the end of the day, and like people don't like the sound of their own voice. I mean, I don't mean in terms of like people won't shut up. It's like people do not like this. My wife, she hears herself on, I was going to say on tape, but that sounds like really old, doesn't it? But if she hears her own voice, she's like, oh my God, I don't sound like that. So that was the hardest thing for me, is like actually just putting yourself onto some sort of digital media. And it's like sort of doing a presentation, isn't it? But you know, it passes. You don't. Now I don't give a fuck. You know, it's I couldn't care less. In a sense, it sort of helped me sort of become a bit more confident in a way, because now I just talking to people and talking in public don't bother me at all. Whereas it used to be sort of kind of like quite scary. You know,
it's honestly, it's like the best practice you could ever have, right? Because then people critique it on top of that, whether you like it or not. And you have to, one of the problems, I've had the same thing. I had a fear of speaking in public, and really it's like, what are these people thinking about me? But if I put it on YouTube, they all tell me exactly what people are thinking about me. I just put up the Tom Vassal interview, and one guy said, you really need to learn how to interview. I was like, fuck. You're probably right. I looked at how that started off, and I went back and watched it. I was like, shit, yeah, it was pretty bad and awkward. but
what does it even mean though? I mean, like, what I've learned is that people have got this sort of set idea about how things should be on the internet. You know, they see, I don't know, shut up and sit down, for instance. You know what I mean? They're like, why aren't you like that? Because that's the benchmark. They see a set of things that have been done, and if you do anything that's not like what they expect, they're like, oh, fucking hell, what the fuck's this? Do you know what I mean? Like, this shouldn't be like this. So you can't break rules, but you can. Do you know what I mean? What is an interview? I mean, it doesn't have to be professional in a news sort of sense. You could do an interview in any which way you want. You know.
Yeah.
If you look back, say when people first managed to record stuff, what an interview was back in the 60s or earlier than that, you know, and it's nothing like it is now, is it? It's a completely different thing. So, you know, the media is like an organic entity, you know, so it changes with people's attitudes, technology, all sorts of stuff. Don't know.
Yeah, I always find it funny how people are so critical of something that they don't pay for. Like they have some sort of, like I have some sort of, even when, you know, they're calling people shills on the internet that do take money for board game reviews, I'm kind of like, are you paying any of these people? Like, why do you expect something for free that is, you know, that is pure and clean? And why do you feel so entitled, you know, to be able to just like levy criticism on someone that's just trying to, you know, I don't think you make money off your channel. Do you? No, but you don't do paid stuff or anything like that? Yeah. No, I mean, but like I don't do paid stuff. Yeah, me neither.
No, I don't take paid content. I get asked all the time. I was just like, no, I don't do it. No, but people will criticize you, but they don't for something they will never do themselves. I always say to people like, oh, your last video is completely nut shit. It's like, well, show me your magnum opus then, mate. Where's your director's cut of The Godfather?
Yeah, right.
Piss off.
Well, that's what I'll do sometimes is I'll go and look on their channel, and I was like, oh, I don't see any great examples on your channel. Please point me to something you've done. I also offer them refunds. I say, I'm really sorry. I'd be happy to refund you. Would you like that back on your original form of payment? That's my recent one. Nobody ever responds to that one, which I think is pretty funny as well.
I'm going to nick that one.
Yeah,
I'm going to steal that one.
I'm surprised you haven't, because you have some good zingers in the comments.
I was going to say I'm stupid. That's why.
Yeah. So you said your first video, I can't remember what you said, but I see the Expatriates rant 16 years ago. This is, I think, a punk rock song. Is that you?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I've been in all sorts of bands. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
Why'd you keep that on there? Because I listened to it, and you used it in your early videos as background music, which I like.
I did. I'll tell you why I kept it on there, because I'm quite proud of the guitar solo. It's like Michael Jackson beat it, and it's fantastic. I don't know how I did it. I must have been high or something. I don't know, but yeah.
All the good ones are written when they're high, right? Like, you know, there's no good sober songs anymore. So then the next one I see is the hamster roll dexterity game. Looks like with your son 10 years ago.
Yeah.
A minute and 54. And it looks like early on in your channel, it's a lot of family games. Tell me about
Yeah.
like being around the table with your family. Is that kind of how you like came back into board games, or was it just a matter of you having kids and wanting to get them to the table?
Oh yeah, I mean, having kids, it's like the only reason I had kids is so that I could have people to play board games with when they're older, you know. So the sooner you can get them into that, the better.
Yeah.
So you're sort of looking for games that, I mean, I don't know how old my son was then. He must have been, how old was that video?
10
It
years.
was about 10, 15, 10 years ago. So he
Yep.
was 4.
Yeah,
So,
he
you
looks
know,
about 4.
Yeah, picking up games that kids can sort of look at and go, oh, what's this? Like Lupin Louis was another one that he used to love. You know, just it's just hitting a paddle, isn't it? And that's it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But dexterity games was where it's at with my son. You know, he loved chucking stuff, hitting stuff, rolling stuff. You know, and yeah, he still plays games now. In fact, he played a game with us yesterday. You know, so he's still.
How old is he now?
He's 15 now, so he's been
15.
playing games since he was like, well, since the same age that I was. So I'm hoping that he can take that with him, and you know, he might lose sight of it, might dump it for a bit, but I'm hoping when he's older, he'll come back, because in a digital world which is dominated by all these distractions with screens, board games is one of the only things that is left where you can get real people into a real room and have real conversations and sort of basically sort of threaten and, you know, cajole and lie to without meaning it, if you know what I mean. And that's priceless. You know, you can't get better than that.
That comes up a lot on your channel. You've talked a lot about that being a big driver for you is bringing people around the table and kind of like finding that connection. Does that influence like the type of games you like? Do you ever play solo stuff? I can't remember you reviewing much solo. Maybe you do, but is it big player counts for you? Is that what you like?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we can't really sort of fit enough people around the table, you know, so we normally play about 5 or 6 players, but I think solo games, I'm not really that interested in them. I play Mage Knight on my own once a year, but I'm not really interested in solo games. Games are there for human interaction, I think, and you know, it's the only time that I actually get to have a go at my mum without getting a slap. So because my mum still comes around, she's 70. What year is it? She's 74. So she comes around once a week and plays games with us, you know. So that's a fantastic thing about board games. That wouldn't happen if board games didn't exist, because I'm lazy and I can't be bothered to go around there.
Do you have a regular play group that plays the stuff? Because I imagine you're playing different stuff with your mom than you do, you know, that you're reviewing on the channel. Monster Pit, Cascadero.
No.
Sheriff of Nottingham is pretty good.
No, she plays it. She plays everything. She's got no choice. It's like we're playing this local lumpet, but she'll never say no. She always comes around here. Yeah, always.
Does she play? Yeah. Did she play Old King's Crown?
Yeah. She hated it.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It was the worst. Yeah, she says it was one of the worst things she's ever played. Yeah. She hated.
I didn't watch that
Nemesis
one from you. She didn't like Nemesis?
She said Nemesis is the worst game. No, because she went out after about like an hour. She got killed and just sat there waiting for her lift home. So she's like, this sucks, you know. Like, well.
Yeah, that is shit. That is shit. Do you like Nemesis otherwise?
If I'm not the one getting killed early, it's not too bad, but they sort of fixed it in one of the later versions. So
right.
The threat of death was still there, but it wasn't like, if you know, it wasn't just like, oh, pull a card out, you're dead, tough shit.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't insta death type thing, you know. But people were saying, oh, you can come back as the alien. It's like, what do I want to do that for? You know what I mean? It's just, I don't want to come back as the alien. I want to beat the game, you know. It's daft. It's just a variant. It's stupid. You know?
Yeah.
But
how many kids do you have now?
3. Yeah.
And what are their ages?
Yeah, 2 boys and a girl. My second son's 12 and my daughter's 9. So yeah, I left it late, which is a good thing because I've got everything out of my system. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I went early and I had them all in a row. So I have I have a 13, 15, 17. So they're all
right.
they're all
play
in the
games,
midst of. Well, so they're at the stage where they're getting boyfriends and girlfriends and pushing back. But what I've done is now I have a Sunday night where everyone comes over for dinner and we'll play things like Secret Hitler, recently Excalibur. I'm trying to like create hopefully what is a tradition. So they'll continue to come over once they're kind of moved out and they have their own families and such.
Right.
We can do a Sunday dinner and play some games. My youngest one is desperately addicted to video games. So no board game seems fun. But the sad thing is he was my main like kid gaming partner only a couple years ago, but he's hit puberty and it's just gone. He's pushing back on dad in every single way, like I did with my dad. So I think I probably unfortunately deserve it. So any tips on getting my kids back around the table?
Heroin, cocaine, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Withhold food.
I don't know.
I try that.
Like, chain them to the chair or something.
Yeah.
Nail their feet to the floor. I'll try that. They'll come back though. They always come back. I mean, I sort of, I didn't go see my parents about 6 years when I was away. So you always come back, don't you? And you come back a different person. You come back wiser, more mature, and that. And then, like, it's just life is cyclical. At the end of the day, it's just things happen in a certain way, and the rinse, wash, repeat.
Yeah, I'm hoping now that they all come back. We like I said, these Sunday nights have been a new idea that seems to be working out. So I'll keep doing that. I'm now to the point where I barely have to do anything as a dad other than keep them in line. They kind of just want to be away from me in general. So I have to do my best to keep breaking into their room and just annoying the shit out of them so they don't forget about me.
I don't have any trouble with that with my children.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
That's
the
good.
mere presence of me in the room is like they're annoyed. They're annoyed by me.
Yeah. So you mentioned Shut Up and Sit Down was like an early, I don't know. Was it an influence or just an impetus to start your channel? Like, do you like Shut Up and Sit Down? Let's clip this real quick.
Not really. I mean, again, I'm not slagging them off.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're lovely people. I've never met them, but I'm sure they're absolutely lovely people. And I got a lot of respect for them because they clone. A lot of people clone their stuff. They copy them. People looked at it and goes, "Oh, I want to start a board game channel. I'm going to be like Shut Up and Sit Down." Yeah. I did the opposite. I'm like, what can I do that's completely different that nobody's done before? What would it be like if a football hooligan did board game reviews? The complete opposite of what people think. People look at board game reviews and they think, oh, it's nice, it's accommodating, it's a safe space, it's nice. I'm thinking, let's flip that on the head. Let's make it nasty, aggressive, rude, horrible, but funny at the same time. Deadpan humor. Not really mean it. Be right on the cusp of what people find acceptable. So in a way, you sort of try. You got to be quite clever to do that. To walk that tightrope of not falling into the abyss of like cancellation, if you know what I mean. I've been cancelled on Board Game Geek, but
I have. That's one of my subjects we'll talk about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know. With somebody like you, where it's like nothing's a slip up, right? It's all very intentional. Call it crass, extreme, whatever it is. I think you're kind of uncancelable. You kind of just say, fuck it. Like there's nothing to cancel. It's not like you're trying to protect a particular, persona. It's just you. Like, how do you cancel Board Game Bollocks?
Well, I don't think you can because I don't say anything that's like that's that offensive. I don't say anything that's like extreme or anything like that. It's just some people find it. I don't know. There's certain subjects that I'm not interested in, politics and certain other things I'm not going to mention. I don't go anywhere near that because it's too easy for people to weaponize, isn't it, and try and talk to you about. That's what got me cancelled on Board Game Geek. Actually, it was something to do with like, well, a few years ago, the UK left the EU, and some board game shop was moaning about the cost of Brexit and that these sort of tariffs will be imposed. But I was like thinking, well, hang on a minute, I'm going to have a look at that. So I went onto the government website and downloaded all the stuff about whether or not board games that will be imported from Europe will be subject to tariffs. It turns out it was a load of bullshit. So I told him, and yeah, they banned me for it. It's disruptive behaviour or something. Yeah. So they said I could appeal, but I told them to fuck off.
So I watched an old Reddit video where you were reacting to Reddit. You talked about that, and you said at that time you didn't know that you what you were banned for. Was that true, or you just later found out by emailing them and seeing what the hell they were doing?
Yeah, I found out. There's a thread somewhere that sort of says, that basically says what happened, because I couldn't look at it because I was banned. He says, but a mate of mine went back, had a look at the thread, and it's I'm not going to say who the board game shop is because they're still in business, but I just thought, you pompous arsehole, why are you spreading a load of bollocks for? It's just lies.
And there was no warning or anything like that?
Yeah, you get a warning. They're like, oh, you've been banned, you can appeal the decision. And I'm like, no, fuck you, I can't be bothered.
Well, that doesn't sound like, that sounds like a kangaroo court. It doesn't sound like, they're going to really look it over, that's probably a very small, it's the same people that banned you are going to be the one that looks at your appeal.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, some guy called Octavian or something. I don't know who he is, but I mean, really, at the end of the day, I never really used to. I just used to go there for the files, just to leech player aids and stuff like that. But now I just get my mate to do it for me. So he just sort of like, the guy comes out and says, "Oh, can you get this for me?" He's like, "Yeah," well, sends it to me. So I never used. There's no community there. I wasn't interested because the people that went there are not like me, are they? So I've got no interest in being part of a community. So it's always stand outside the circle, because then you can see what's going on then, can't you?
Yeah, you called a BGG a monopoly that really just cannot be overtaken. What do you think it would take to kind of challenge BGG?
Probably World War III, probably. Some sort of nuclear detonation or something. I don't know. The removal of the servers. You can't. It's an immovable object, isn't it? I mean, there was a channel, was it ad-lib games or something? They tried to make some sort of alternative, and it's just you can't. It's fine. They're entitled to having a monopoly, but when the gates are shut, just because of some daft sort of argument, then don't know. It's like it's a welcoming environment, but you're not welcome. You know what I mean? It's bizarre.
So I've created cardboard, and it's really difficult, right? Getting that off. It's going to take marketing dollars and all kinds of bullshit to kind of get it up and running. That is the toughest part. I think I built something better than BGG and more worthwhile, but it doesn't work unless people are actually there. I mean, one of the things I won't do is, unless you're like trying to fuck up the app or something like that, I'm not going to ban you. What I am actually building is, if you don't like what somebody's saying, is just to hide, just like on YouTube. So you just don't have to see them. Like, if you don't like Board Game Bollocks, you're never going to see, if they're harassing you in the comments, whatever, you'll never see them again. But as far as they know, you do, and whatever it might be. But yeah, I've heard a lot of feedback, and when I first launched it, about people that were banned by BGG and with really no explanation at all. And that's not necessarily why I made it. I just felt like there was just a better way to kind of connect people to games, especially not the new hotness. But it is something that I'm all about free speech, and you can go do whatever you want. And if you want to be offensive, people don't have to read what you say or watch what you produce or whatever it might be.
Well, saying I get people all the time saying like, "Oh, your video's shit." I think I made a joke about. I'm not going to say it here because I made some kind of joke, and it was close to the bone. It's something to do with Karen Carpenter's elbow or something. And I got a message from somebody saying, "Oh, you can't say that." And it's like, well, if you don't like it, don't watch it. It's as simple as that, isn't it? If you don't like, I mean, the clue's in the title, right? If you don't like it, then go away. Don't watch it. I mean, it's not for you, is it? Go and watch, I don't know, I don't know, Tom Vassal or something like that. You know, that's fine. There's more. It's more accommodating for you, and I don't mean that in a nasty way. It's true. You know, this channel is not for everybody, and I don't want it to be for everybody because 99% of people are assholes, aren't they? So.
Yeah. No offense. As long as you end everything with no offense, you could say whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Your channel is
to be
definitely
offended, you know.
Yeah. I think I started following your channel maybe around 9,000 subscribers, and all of a sudden I look up and you're sitting at like 40K. I never thought, frankly, I've always liked your content, but I did think there's just at least based upon like the stuff that I've seen on even in my comments that that there's not enough people that are willing to kind of go through that type of content or watch that type. Has it been surprising kind of your rise to board game fame?
Oh, I don't feel famous at all. Just some balding ginger middle-aged knobhead who sat in a room just talking crap to a camera. I'm not famous. I don't care about subscribers. I don't care about the money. You know, one of the big shocks was like going to the Board Game Expo in Birmingham a couple of years ago and having people like ask for selfies and that shit. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Did you do it?
Who the fuck are you? Well, yeah. Only because like they threatened me. You know?
Yeah. Be honest. It felt good though, right?
I don't know. It was weird. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I've always been on this side of the camera. When you've got like real, like weirdos sort of trying to chase you. I mean, people, when I was queuing up, people shouting bollocks out, you know what I mean? I'm like, what? Who? Where the fuck's that coming from? You know, it's like, it's weird. I don't know if it felt good. It's definitely weird. I mean, last year my wife was there. My wife and a mate of mine who went with me, they were having a sort of a side bet as to how many people would come up to me, you know? And it's like bizarre. Yeah.
How many did?
Yeah. Do you know, I don't know. They wouldn't tell me. I think there's 50 quid on it. They wouldn't tell me who won the bet because I'll probably want in on it, you know?
Yeah, right. So why do you do it? Yeah. You don't care about the subscribers, the relative fame. I mean, 40K in YouTube is nothing, but 40K in board games, I mean, you're getting there. And it's actually been relatively quick, right? Like recently you have popped pretty good, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just like making stuff, you know. I'd say, like I say, I went to uni. I'd done film degree, didn't I? So I suppose it stems from that, just wanting to make stuff because I've never been able to make like long movies, and this just gives you an opportunity to, you know, because I don't script anything. It's all ad-lib. It's all like off the cuff. Like I don't bother scripting anything. I haven't got time, so you know, it's just something so you can make something. Anything doesn't matter. I mean, it's just an opportunity to create something. You know, that's all it is. You know, I'm not interested in money.
You don't write anything down?
No.
Really?
No, well, I've got bullet points, like something like this. You know, like bullet points. You know, just pros, cons. But other than that, there's no script. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know where the video is going to go. Yeah, it's just all off the top of my head, ad-lib, off the cuff. Yeah.
And your stuff's like, you're like the 10-minute range, 10, 15 minutes. How much extra footage is there that you're cutting off? I know I've heard you do the auto cut, which I do as well. Some people don't like the jump cuts, but I pause a lot when I'm trying to do stuff.
I haven't got time to go in manually and cut it, you know.
No.
It's just a waste of time. But I mean, like, I've done a video this afternoon. It was like 16 minutes, like unedited. And then the auto cut took out another 6 minutes. But it's because of my attention span. I've got an attention span of a tsetse fly. So it's just, you know, I don't want to watch. You know, how many times have you been on, like, say, I don't know, for example, Tom Vassal's top 100 games of all time? Yeah, there's 10 videos and they're like 2 hours long. And I'm like, I don't want to watch a 2-hour video of some blokes talking about. I don't want to. 10 minutes is just about enough. To you know, you don't need to skip forward. You can only concentrate on certain things at once, and 10 minutes is about my threshold, so that's about it. You know, I'll make videos for me. What do I want to see? You know, no, but my wife will. She'll have me chained to a chair.
Yeah, I've been honestly pretty surprised on how many people actually watch these, because I was like you, I did a lot of kind of like the shorter the better I tried, although I probably averaged closer to 20 minutes because I talk too much. I'm not good at editing my speech, but I've been surprised how many people are like watching these things all the way through. So, you know, you can't say the wild shit at the end of it. Some people are going to still catch it. There'll be people there listening.
Oh, okay. That surprises me. I don't know. I mean, I've done a couple of these. I think I can't really. There was one. Somebody in the UK I did one, but I mean, I didn't go back and watch it because at the time I didn't like the sound of my own voice. You know. So
yeah,
that's the main reason. And
I don't go back and watch anything.
At all.
No. So on my normal like reviews, I edit the shit out of them, so I'll watch it during that, but I'll never go back and watch. In fact, I don't want to. And this, I won't watch at all because I'll do some. I don't edit it at all. I just throw it out there. I don't ever want to be accused of manipulating what somebody said to make it sound like something else. So I throw it all out there. But yeah, I won't watch this for sure. I don't have time.
Oh,
I'm having the conversation with you.
Disappoints me.
So, yeah, I was here. Yeah.
That's disappointing. I thought you might have had it on repeat. I was like,
yeah. Just because I like the. Well, maybe just to listen to you. Maybe I'll cut all of my parts out and just have you in the background as I'm editing other videos or something like that.
Yeah, can you make a bronze statue or something, put it in your garden or something like that as well?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you're 40K. You don't give a shit about subscribers. You're just here to make stuff. No. Does any of the good comments make you feel good? Like, do you care about that stuff?
I mean, when people go, "Oh, great video, mate," yeah, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, I know it's great. Yeah, I don't need to be told that. It's when sometimes you get like messages from people that say that what you've done has made a difference to their life, and I find that hard to believe. But I've had a few messages, like you say. There's one message I got from some guy saying that he used to play board games with his old man, and he found my channel. He thought board games were for geeks and all that. He's found my channel. He's managed to reconnect with his old man. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, bloody hell, you know what I mean? I was like, this can't be real. It's just like, why would anyone listen to me for? So it's like messages like that are sort of tug on your heartstrings just that little bit, because you know I've got sort of a heart made of coal in a sense. So anything that can sort of warm that up a little bit, you know, is a good thing.
That's what I was going for. I wanted to prove that Board Game Bollocks actually has a heart. That's not what Reddit would lead you to believe, but there is a heart in there. It might be cold, shriveled, and small, but it's there.
So you're talking about my heart, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I mean, two things can be true at once, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So you basically do reviews. You say a lot of the times you don't do unboxings, and if we're good, you might do a playthrough, which is few and far between. You don't really do playthroughs, but you've said recently in your New Year's rant that reviews are dead. Why are board game reviews dead? And do you remember saying that?
No, I don't remember saying that at all. Maybe it's too much mulled wine.
Yeah.
Well, it's non-alcoholic.
So I think the context was people want impressions, unboxing, quick, cheap content, not in-depth reviews. One of the things that I've been talking a lot about lately are content creators wanting to push out as much content as possible and not actually playing the games. And that's where I'm going with this is the incentive on YouTube is to not play games a lot, is to play games very little, get an impression video out, or play a bunch of games very little, get a top 10 out, and those are what's going to be getting views. You do the top 10 and stuff, but you seem to be really focused on reviews. So I'm assuming you don't believe reviews are dead then.
I mean, I'll just do whatever the hell I feel like. I mean, I normally review games that I've played last year, but if you're talking outside of what I do, you know, people, there's loads of paid content. There's like Kickstarter previews. You know, like you mentioned Board Game Hangover, didn't you? I mean, again, I'm not slagging them off or anything, but Their channel seems to be comprised of like top 10, top 10, top 10, this, best of this, best of that, you know. And to be fair, the majority of videos that get the most views on my channel are top 10 lists. People love top 10 lists, don't they? But, you know, but I'm not going to be doing that exclusively. I mean, a lot of the stuff I review is games from sort of 20 odd years ago, you know, and a lot of people send me messages and stuff and say, you know, we don't see many channels covering old games that are out of print or old games that we played, you know, a long time ago. But in terms of actual board game reviews, if you look at the figures and the statistics and that, just bog standard reviews are getting less and less and less views. I mean, some of the massive channels like the Dice Tower, Rado, they used to get 20,000 views for each playthrough or review. Now they're getting like sort of 2,000 views or whatever. And it's like, you know, these massive gargantuan behemoths that we used to sort of bow down and worship. Now they're just sort of like, I don't know, scrambling around in the gutter for like a piece of rice. You know, it just seems a bit weird, you know. Maybe like the whole board game thing is imploding. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you're really good at helping me with my transitions here, because in that same video I'm referencing, you're saying that the golden age of board games is dead. I wonder, is the content creator oversaturation? Because that's essentially what it is. There's like a million of us now. Is that kind of a symptom of this oversaturation of the board game kind of ecosphere? There's just too much of all of it, and so nothing is really unique any longer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if you go back to the 70s and 80s, there was something called the video game crash. You know, there's this event that happened where I think it was Atari made this game called E.T., and they made so many copies of it that they thought that it was good. They just tie in with a movie. They thought it was going to be amazing. The game sucked arse, yeah, and they were left with all of these unsold cartridges that they dumped in a landfill in Mexico somewhere, you know. And I think it happened again in the late 80s as well. There was a video game crash. I think it was like there was a transitional period between like 8-bit and 16-bit, and there was just so many substandard games that were made to cash in on the video game hype. And it seems to me that board gaming is, maybe we're already there, I don't know, but we're moving into, or maybe we're moving through an era where market saturation, prices of everything, you know, there's excuses for everything. Like board games, sort of 300 quid for a Kickstarter game, you know, and there's all these excuses. Well, it's because of shipping costs, it's because of tariffs, it's because of this. And it's like, well, I'm not playing it then. You know, I haven't got that sort of money. I'm not going to play those sort of games. You know, we're moving through an era of hype, oversaturation, media frenzies about everything. Like you got the hotness on Board Game Geek, and what the fuck does that even mean? I mean, according to who? Nobody. You know, you go. Maybe I'm being nostalgic, but have a look for yourself, make your own opinion, buy a game. If you don't like it, get rid of it. You know, that's what I used to do when I was younger. You know, buy the latest thing that I read in the magazine, think, well, I'll try it out. If not, chuck it in a second-hand shop. You know, I mean, now people, there's now like I think on GameFound, there's like a payment plan thing. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, people are going to be taking out mortgages for board games at some point. It's insane.
I've used it.
You know. Yeah, well, some of these games are so big, right, that you could probably live in the box. Do you know what I mean? So you probably get a mortgage.
Oh, yeah.
For, you know what I mean?
That Ant's trespass. Well, I'm pretty fat now, but that Ant's trespass box, I could definitely fit a small child in, for sure. That thing is insane. You know, you started. Yeah. You said in that video. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just going to ask you, what game did you was so good that you had to do the payment plan? Can you remember what game it was? You can't remember?
No,
oh my God.
I think it was Kingdoms Forlorn, and you know, that's it was a really expensive
how many times did you play it?
None yet.
Yeah, I know. I've done the same with Kingdom Death Monster. I mean, obviously I didn't play Payment Plan, but I was like, oh man, this is the only opportunity I'm going to get to play Kingdom Death Monster. And when I got it, I'm like, what do you mean you got to assemble the minis with glue? Like, fuck, I ain't doing that. Got rid of it.
Oh, yeah, that is like a lot. You have to, that's all you have to do. Like you can't, I guess it's actually a good deal because if you actually play it, you don't ever need or nor have time for another board game again. So you're technically could be saving money.
Yeah, I suppose so. But where's the fun in that?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm in there. So, I mean, you just proved the point. You said we started buying games we didn't even like. We just ended up investing into hype shit. We just wanted to own something. When did that change? You've been in the game longer than I have, but like when was that like tipping point where all of a sudden this was a hobby about owning something and collecting something rather than playing something?
I don't know, really. I suppose you had the advent of like Euro games in '95. You know, when Catan came to America. Yeah, that was a massive, massive thing. I mean, that changed the game. Yeah, and you had sort of an era after that where these sort of games were really, really, really popular. And I think around 2010, 2011, there was a game called Zombicide, and that people just couldn't believe how much stuff was in the box, right? You know, it just blew people away. They were looking at their copy of maybe like, I don't know, Castles of Burgundy, like the straw on the floor version that I've got up there, actually, funny enough. Yeah. They're looking at it going, it's like, there's nothing in the box. What's all this about? I mean, oh my God, like look at all the shiny shit in that box. So that changed the game. And then it's just sort of snowballed out of control from there, you know. Now you've got like, I don't know, you got like sort of cargo ships appearing at your door, like dropping off like the latest sort of, I don't know, multi-campaign based dungeon crawler that's you know, the same as Gloomhaven but different, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but people, it's the what would you say? It's the anticipation of the game that is the addictive thing. Once the game arrives, it's like, oh, it's here. You unbox it, you punch it all out, and then it sits on the shelf for the next 10 years, and you think, oh, what was the point in that? It's the anticipation of owning something that is the addictive quality, I think.
Yeah, I found that, and it especially early on, you know, I think I kind of came in at the boom of Kickstarter, so I was trying to back everything I can. I hardly back anything now. Hardly anything at all, just because I can't trust it. I have been burnt where things are really tough to find. Cretaceous Rails was a recent one where I wish I would have backed it. I just want to play it, but I can't find it anywhere to play. Right. So you then have those like reinforcing instances where like, oh, I remember I missed that one. And, you know, I'm going to have to wait on the second Kickstarter another 8 months if I'm lucky to get that game. So it does reinforce itself a little bit. In that video, you say that Kickstarter's monetized hype and stretch goals have kind of replaced development, right? Do you think publishers are putting more energy into the marketing than they are into investing into the QA and the actual development of the game? Does it feel that way in the games you've been playing?
No, I think the games aren't released complete. You know, it's still to do with cash. So they create a game, and then they think, right, what can we basically, like, it's what you were talking about, that Lairs game earlier. Yeah, what's the bare minimum that we can pump out in this game, and then sell the rest on at a profit? You know, so in terms of like what I said about it's that Kickstarter's killed development, is that they make a game, they don't worry about developing an expansion from scratch in the future. It's already been made. It's just that it's been sort of cut off and put to one side for later on going, aha, look, this is a new thing that you can play to make your game better, to give the game more longevity, when that should have been in it was in the game at the beginning. It's just they've cut it off to sell to you, so that your $20 game that is just basically a bare bones rule set is now going to cost you $100 for something that maybe 10 years ago would have cost you $30, you know. So there's no development because it's already been done. The game's already complete. You know, they don't have to think about anything in the future. They don't have to develop the game or try and think, well, where can we go with this? Because it's already been done.
The modular expansions drive me insane. I want to know from the publisher, what's the best way to play this game? I don't want alternate ways. You've played the damn thing. What is the best way to play it? I'll buy it. and then I'll enjoy it instead of having, okay, give me 14 rule books. Let me combo this together. There's a little mini expansion I can put in. It just drives me insane. And I really do think it is about selling units, trying to make that entry level, palatable enough to be able to go and buy it. And that's exactly what Lairs did. Is it's $40 in, as much as $40 is not cheap for board games, it's pretty cheap to get into that game, but you play it and immediately are going like, well, I need all the other shit. And that's what drives me insane. That game clearly is not complete as they've given it. And that's probably one of the most egregious examples I've seen recently of it. But are you an expansion guy? Do you like expansions, or do you like the kind of base game, get me in and out of here?
Yeah, I tend to go with like vanilla games. Like I still play Catan now. I mean, I know people slag it off, but I've got some of the I've got the Cities and Knights expansion, all that. I've got the Cities and Knights expansion and the Seafarers, but I'll always play with just vanilla Catan because I just can't be arsed with all the different variants. You know what I mean? Sometimes like what's the game I picked up recently? Is like there's an expansion for Captain Flip, which is absolutely fantastic, and it doesn't change anything. It just adds more boards and extra stuff. So I haven't got a problem with that. It's when things get changed too radically, where I've got to learn another 10,000 things, and I'm too old for it. I just can't be asked anymore. Do you know what I mean? There's an expansion for SETI, which is absolutely amazing. Yeah, it doesn't really change anything. In a way, it makes the game a little bit shorter, and it seamlessly integrates. So if the expansion seamlessly integrates into the experience and makes it easier to play and reduces the amount of fluff that you've got to fuck about with, then I'm all over it. Otherwise, I just can't be bothered. You know what I mean? I'm lazy.
Yeah, 100%. There's so many times where I'm thinking about playing a game and I think, okay, well, I'd have to read multiple rule books because I don't remember anything. I just don't. I have a hard time remembering what the game was. I'm very much, I know like 3 or 4 games at a time, and my brain just can't keep it with me. So sometimes thinking like Everdell, for example, is thinking about going and trying to put together, expansions to make that thing good. I have a big box and it's a coffin, and it'll probably never come out for that reason. The stuff that comes out is the easy stuff that I can remember and get it to the table, or something I happen to be playing right now.
I think I picked up one of those expansions for Riverdale. I think it was Pearlbrook, only because I needed a 5th player. But now it's got to the point, where it's so far down the line, I don't even know what's what. I mean, there's so many bloody expansions. Is it now like is there a separate game or something? Or
there's separate games now, and actually that's what I recommend. Because they've released Silver Frost, which is to me a better version of Everdell. I could throw away that collection box and I probably will never open it again. I'll just play a new Everdell every year. Like I don't mind it at all. Yeah. Just give me a few gimmicks, give me some straightforward rules. I don't want to look through a bunch of different rule books. Luckily the Everdell collection has one rule book, but a lot of them don't, where it'll say you're like setting it up and it's like, reference the original game manual to finish the setup for steps 11 through 16. I just had that. What was that? Wondrous Creatures. I'm playing the new expansion they gave me, and it's tells me to go and reference the original rule book. Did you? I like Wondrous Creatures. Did you like it?
It's a good game. Yeah, I ended up, because I have to have a clear out every now and often. I take games down the charity shop, so I took it down there, and but they said, we'll send you the original game again. I'm like, nah, so I'm not that desperate to play it. It's a good game. I enjoyed it, but it's just you can't keep everything. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I like it better than Everdell. It's probably a better. I don't know if you play games like that, but my wife really loves anything that's cutesy. And if I can get something sort of crunchy that'll like engage my brain, but it has like good thematic artwork or details, I'll tend to keep that stuff just because it's more likely for me to put it to the table. If I pull a space theme out for her, she just starts yawning on me. I still make her play it, but it's not as pleasant.
My wife won't play anything like. she won't play any sort of what she calls manly games, sort of like Spartacus, or she won't play Twilight Imperium. We played an all-day game of War Room a few months ago, and she didn't want to know. It was one of the best experiences we've had, like with an all-dayer. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm like, you should have played it. She's like, nah, not really interested in beating up Nazis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I went to Dice Tower West, actually my first convention this year, and I got my wife to play Captain Sonar. Have you played Captain Sonar?
Yes, yeah. We've had it since launch. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Have you played with full 8 people?
Yeah. It's amazing.
Incredible experience. Like I'll never be able to play that in my normal life, and she would have never played anything like that. In fact, she had no idea what she was getting herself into. But then we played it, and she was like, "Whoa, what was that?" She was incredibly stressed by the end of it. But I know, she enjoyed the experience, even though it's space theme and absolutely insane gaming experience, unlike anything I'd ever played before. But they can grow. You just got to lie to them and get them to the table. And then,
yeah, my wife won't play any of these real-time games, like Escape, Curse of the Temple and Project Elite. I desperately wanted to play Project Elite, but years and years and years ago, she played a game of Escape, Curse of the Temple, and she thought she was having a heart attack, so she's like, I'm never playing it again, ever, anything like that.
My wife was playing the role. I don't know what the role is, but where you're basically trying to find the ship. She's doing the drawing and trying to match it up. So it's probably the most stressful role in Captain Sonar that there was. So I could tell she was getting a little flustered because I was like, how could it be there? I'm like the captain yelling at her, and I was really getting into it. I had to remember she's my wife, and I had to go sleep with her.
You gave her that role deliberately, didn't you?
No, I had no idea. This is the first time you ever playing. But, I would like to take credit for giving it to her deliberately. It's a little bit of a punishment. But she was good. She came with me to Dice Tower West. So,
did you get to meet Tom Vassal at the convention? Yeah.
Actually, no. I thought I was going to go and rub elbows with all the content creators, but I found these guys right out of the gates, and we just started playing games, and we played more and more stuff. We basically gathered this group that played Lords of Vegas every day, and we were a really intense kind of like take that group. Nobody had their feelings hurt. Tons of above the table talks. So we just stayed with each other the whole time and just played games, and it was like the greatest time of my life. So I didn't care to not meet Tom Vassal. I just asked him later to interview him, and then I actually just got to meet him recently. But yeah. I basically ignored all of them. I just played games, which I guess that's what you're supposed to do, right? Go play some board games.
I probably would have done the same thing. I probably would have done it deliberately, though.
Yeah. Wait, you don't watch Dice Tower every day?
Not every day, no. I watch Tom Vassal. I'm interested in what he's got to say, because I think he's a nice bloke. You know what I mean? It's just a bit, I don't know. It's just the same thing all the time. You don't want to try nothing new, Well, I'll try and do something new, and then people give me shit for it. So there you go. But yeah, I've got a lot of respect for anybody who's willing to stick their neck above the trenches and willing to get it shot off by some arsehole troll on the internet. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't care what you do, whether it's board games or not. YouTube is fantastic, and if you've got the balls to actually sort of, put your face on camera and absorb some of the apathy that's out in the world, then fair play to you. Like you, for instance, doing this. You know what I mean? You don't have to waste your time doing this, but you give up your time to give people something else to watch. You know what I mean? It's fantastic. You know what I mean? There's people out there that are willing to do that.
Yeah. No, you do have to respect that, right? Because it is so much tougher than anybody gives credit for. And I can't imagine the pressure that Tom is under at the end of the day. He's got a full staff. He's running a full business. And ironically, his perspective on the game is probably a little closer to you than you would expect. He has some of that I don't give a fuck attitude that you do. And when answering the questions about the trolls and the, just kind of the YouTube game in particular, he's unapologetic for like the way he runs the Dice Tower and his perspective. And I have to give him tons of respect for that. And I don't agree with a lot of stuff that he says, but after interviewing him, that's why I'm doing these is to get to know, who these people are instead of the 10-minute snippets that people like to bitch and complain about in the comments. I think there's more to a person than that.
Yeah, Tom Vassal probably gets his fair share of shit, doesn't he? You know what I mean? Because he's the main man, isn't he? But I couldn't do this as a business. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket with this. I mean, it's just too risky, isn't it? Why would I want to do that? It's like there's some. I got some press passes for the UK Games Expo recently, right? And I get this message from this guy called Stephen Box or something, and it's from some company called Vanguard Tactics, and he's trying to get me to like fill in this questionnaire that may or may not affect this year's press passes and next year's press passes. And I'm thinking like, what the fuck? Who the fuck are you?
Who do you think you are?
Nobody's told me who you are. I'm not filling in. I'm not going to send my phone number and address and all that over some insecure Google form to some knobhead on the internet who's just managed to contact me. I'm not doing that. So, you know, I mean, it's like, I sent a message back to him like, you know, you can fuck off with your microaggressions, and if you got a problem, I'll just buy the tickets myself. It's not a job. It's a hobby. I do this because it's just a hobby. I'm not invested in it. You know, it's just insane. You know, I'd never turn this into a business because to me, it's just to laugh. It's just something to do, isn't it?
Isn't this whole thing just to laugh? Life, like, does any of this really matter at the end of the day?
No.
Yeah. You know?
No, of course it doesn't. You know, well, I mean, so what? I mean, you know, at risk of going back into my philosophical days, I suppose, you know, it's you know, you sort of born and you make the best of it, and then you end up in the ground, I guess, you know, or on fire, depending on your preference, you know. At the end of the day, so you know,
why not? Well, let's just turn this into a business.
It's what you do in between, isn't it? And I've chosen to move bits of cardboard around other bits of cardboard.
Yeah. I mean, that's where we're at. So let's push back to your golden age of board game, and a little thought experiment here. So, does it actually matter that the golden age of board games is over? Aren't there enough board games? Like, we have thousands of games. Some of the best board games to have ever existed or will ever exist have probably already been created. Does it even matter?
I don't know if saying that it matters is the right way to do it. I mean, it's all an evolution, isn't it? Like I said earlier, that life is a cyclical process. So things tend to repeat. So you go through these stages, and then you always end up back where you started, right? You know, I don't know if you've done it, but you try to move away, you always end up back where you started or whatever, or back doing something you've done before. So the fact that we're going through this period, or maybe we've gone through it, I don't know, that you've got this excess, everything's got bigger, more expensive, bloated, that will eventually be peeled away, and we'll end up going back to basics where the bare bones castles of Burgundy. You'll end up having like castles of. You just had a deluxeified version of Castles of Burgundy, right? You'll now be sold the straw on the floor version of Castles of Burgundy, where when you open it up, there is literally a piece of straw in the box. You know, that's the way it's going to go. You're going to end up going back to the way that games were done. Maybe it'll be nostalgia, I don't know, but people get fed up with stuff real quick, and there's always, when you're talking about money being involved in any kind of industry, I mean, board games now, I don't know, is it billions or something it makes a year? You know, when you've got that sort of much money on the table, there's people haven't got the space for all this shit. You know what I mean? It's like CDs. They had to find a way to get rid of CDs. But my brother-in-law had like a room full of CDs. You know what I mean? And now he's dumped them all, and he just spends £10 a month on Spotify. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the same is true of any kind of medium. You can't have finite growth you can't have infinite growth with finite resources, right? So there's going to come a point where all of these big, massive productions are going to have to be scaled back, you know, because people can't afford them, people don't have the space for them, and there's just not that many ideas in people's brains to keep making this stuff, you know, which is why we've got reprints and deluxeified versions and second editions. And, you know, there was Tokaido had a 5th anniversary edition. What the fuck was that all about? So, I mean, fuck, you know.
Yeah, why are we celebrating 5 years, huh?
Oh, no.
I don't any excuse. I think the problem is they're doing anything they can to get get their game in that hotness loop and hopefully hit that top 10 to be able to get another sales run. Otherwise, stuff just gets buried. And that's the one thing I'm a little bit worried about is there's so many incredible games. I love Barrage. When I make a Barrage video, nobody watches the Barrage video. Nobody gives a shit unless it was the new Kickstarter with the new stuff. But I made it before that. And when I made a Lost Ruins of Arnak video, nobody watched it because Lost Ruins of Arnak didn't just come out. But then there's so many other games. Like if I love Lords of Vegas. It's a new love of mine. If I made a video on Lords of Vegas, nobody would watch it. I get a few hundred views. And I think that's the tricky part is now all of these kind of like reprints and anniversary editions are just publishers trying to get attention, which is tough in such a small niche. I mean, it's still a relatively small niche, I guess. Do you think maybe some of this is, you talked about like derivative games, like, Heat is Flamme Rouge, Arc Nova is derivative of Terraforming Mars and Rajas of Ganges. Do you think that maybe we just had like this big explosion in kind of innovations, and now this is the fine tuning part, or where these designs are just going to get better, or is it just derivative shit that's not as good as the original?
There's always going to be someone out there that's going to pop up and change the world. I think I'd done a video a few months ago about I can't remember exactly what it was. I went back from sort of all the way back through history and sort of done a little sort of chronology of how board games have changed throughout history.
Good,
right?
By the way, I think AI did that.
I can't remember. What was I saying now? I fucking lost my mind now. I can't remember what I was saying. Can you remind me?
Don't ask me.
What was the question?
You know how many times I forget what I'm saying when I'm doing this, and I'm like feverishly like looking at the notes, like what the hell was I supposed to be talking about right now? I just put that onus on you.
Shit.
Yeah, derivative shit. Is it
shit.
Everything derivative shit, or is it fine tuning of designs? Arc Nova, Heat were your examples.
So I think it's just a case of people have run out of ideas, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like I said, there was always going to be someone out there that's going to pop up and go. Everyone's going to go, "What the fuck? How did you manage to create that?" Like Gary Gygax in 1974 or whatever it was with D&D, took the games that he was playing in the 60s in war games and thought, rather than have like a legion of troops, what would happen if you could actually get into the head of one of those little metal soldiers? And it changed the world with it. And nobody was ready for that. And there's always going to be some sort of like innovator that's going to pop up out of the woodwork. But most board game publishers these days have run out of ideas. I mean, I could name quite a few, like Portal Games. An absolute amazing designer, Ignacy Trevicek, you know what I mean? He made some stunning designs in the late 2000s, early 2010s. Now it's just repeating shit that he's already made, with Neuroshima Hex, the fucking batshit edition and all that sort of stuff. Like Stonemar games, like amazing, like Scythe blew people away. He made so many decent designs in that, and now I think he's just doing a reprint of Euphoria. I mean, a game that's like over 12 years old, 15 years old. So I think these people have just run out of ideas. I mean, you could say like, Vantage was original, but in my mind, it was like a choose your own adventure book that was just put into a box, So I don't even think that was original. Maybe he thought it was, I don't know, but we're running out of ideas. Everything's been thought of before. It's almost as if history has been effaced. We're approaching the end of history. We've experienced everything that there is to experience one way or another, and the internet is homogenizing that experience to the point where we're all going to be experiencing the same thing simultaneously.
And yes, until the AI gods take over, which we'll get to. That's the next video we're gonna run into.
Yeah.
Have you played anything new? Meaning, like, has there been anything novel over the last year, we'll say, that really just struck you as that basically throws your thesis out, that there are some hints of new ideas coming to the table?
I think no. Obsession. That's a game that like made me think that something different is possible. You know what I mean? Not just in the way the game plays, but in the way the game was made. You know, I think I've talked about this before on my channel. The designer actively encouraged the people that have played the game to affect the way that the game was developed in the future. You know what I mean? It was like crowdfunding, but with ideas, if you know what I mean. And that was a novel approach. And even the theme was like different. You know, I don't know how some guy in the nether regions of the United States managed to create a game about Victorian England. It's an absolutely stunning game, you know. So that's probably the last time where I've actually been sort of blown away by a game where it's like, wow, this is pretty sort of a new thing, you know what I mean? But other than that,
but that's
sort
older
of struggle
now,
to think
right?
of something that
that's technically developed.
But
Obsessions is
when was
a
that
few
made?
years old, right? Their big box just came out.
2018.
Yeah, but wasn't that in the midst of the golden age? Essentially, still that still like is proving your thesis correct. So you're trying to just prove your thesis correct. Yeah. So I don't have as wide of a experience as some. So there's still some things that come out that feel new. Are you familiar with Danny Garcia, the designer? She did
go on.
Windmill Valley, Barcelona, Voynich Puzzle, most recently Coming of Age. Have you heard of this game?
No, I've got Windmill Valley, and it was all right. It's fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
Other than that, no.
I like Barcelona's great. Really. Oh, he also did Arborea. I don't know if you did that one. That was like a psychedelic
I've heard of it.
Board game.
Played it.
He's really great at action selection mechanisms. That's the one thing that stood out for me in Windmill Valley. I liked the upgrading your wheel and trying to kind of play that game. But he came up with Coming of Age, which the idea is that you're like an adolescent. You start in year 10 of your life. And it's a clever dice placement mechanism, which I tend to like. But essentially, you're placing dice on locations, and those locations, the number of locations unlock throughout your life. So as a kid, you go to fewer places and get fewer experiences. But as you get these experiences, you can find ways, and it's a Euro at heart. You know, you're bumping tracks, but these tracks are related to your feelings and like the development emotionally as you go along. And there's so many little like intricate decisions that have, for a Euro, is incredibly thematic and have these really cool parallels to how you would think your human brain would actually unlock. And in fact, some of the emotions you're not even able to engage with until you're older, because you're not as complex emotionally. I just felt like it was such a brilliant way to put what is a really fun resource management Euro with a really cool dice placement mechanism, which I won't describe. I'll let you just discover it yourself, and I highly recommend this game. But most importantly, it was telling the story of a small human being's life and how they develop emotionally, which I had never seen before. I mean, Unconscious Mind had this kind of cool what was it, idea board representing your ideas in your mind, but I just felt like it was something totally fun and different. So I think there's some interesting things that come out, but maybe it's not from the old players in the game, and getting those people discovered that actually have those ideas might be difficult because of another thing you said, which is crowdfunding isn't doing what it's supposed to do. Right. I'll paraphrase you essentially, where you're basically saying it's just this hype machine rather than actually helping the inexperienced or small publishers get games off of the ground. Do you think that's might be part of the problem, and there are good ideas out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got these massive companies now, haven't you, that are using Kickstarter to push their games. I mean, when they try to redo Hero Quest on a Hasbro Pulse, it flopped. I think maybe they did it, but they didn't get as much money as they thought they would. So you've got these. It's almost like these publishers now. The Kickstarter is a way of absolving themselves of economic responsibility. You know, if the game bombs, it's on the people that are parting with cash to pick up the pieces. So there's no financial risk involved. You know what I mean? So if you've got a crazy idea, you're still going to have these sort of publishers that are going to go independent and that. But there's so many games out there that they get lost. I mean, I've never heard of Coming of Age. I mean, that's probably because I'm dumb, but it's word of mouth, isn't it? I'm now going to hunt that one down and have a look.
No, you should play it. I'd be interested to see. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what your perspective is on it, considering the thesis that the golden age is dead. But one game doesn't prove it, right? I think there's going to be things that slip through. And I made a video as a reaction to this, and I ultimately agreed with you that a lot of things felt derivative, and a lot of people, fought in the comments about, different games that seem to be innovative to them. I think it just matters on their experience. Like, what have you played before? That's why it's so pointless. People arguing about opinions of board games, on the internet. It's just, maybe you haven't played what it's derived from or whatever it might be.
Who's the bloke who done Space Base? I can't remember his name. Who's the
oh gosh,
what's his name? Right here. He if there's one designer that tries to do something different, it's him. He's got like a one letter in the middle of his name, isn't he? I can't remember what his name is.
He does.
Oh man. God. But he's done some fantastic games, isn't he? What's his name?
John D. Clair.
I'm going to kick myself now. That's it.
John D. Clair.
So if there's one designer that I had to say over the last, say, 5 years that's produced more bangers than any other like board game designer, it's him. I mean, he had Ready Set Bet, like The Last Kingdom was like a fantastic game that just flew under the radar. Do you know what I mean? Nobody played it at all. But
I haven't played The Last Kingdom.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Well, it's fine if you play it with
Dead
the right
Reckoning?
people, you know what I mean? I didn't play it because it's too expensive. Me being a tightwad, I didn't want to part of the money. But I would love to play it. Yeah, I'd love to play that one.
He did Unstoppable, the Mistborn deck building game, Ready Set Bet, Cubitos, Mystic Vale.
Cubitos, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rolling Heights.
So, I mean, Mystic Vale, that was different.
Hmm? Yeah, he's got that card crafting thing.
Yeah. I think, aren't they doing something? Is he doing something to do with Mystic Vale? It's like a reskin or something. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So I lied. There's one guy. It's John D. Clair. In fact, I'm going to construct a temple to him at the bottom of my garden after we're done.
Well, I'm glad we can prove Board Game Bollocks completely and utterly wrong. Reddit, there you go. There is your fuel. Go into your mom's basement and start tapping away. Don't get too much Cheeto dust on the keyboard. You've got it. I've got your bait. All right, so let's
definitely
pivot.
Cheeto dust, is it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely Cheeto dust. I've got some probably on my keyboard. On my burner account, talking shit to Board Game Bollocks on the side.
Oh, that's what it is it?
Yeah, it's all me. I've got 15 burner accounts, just tearing you down. It's going to be a big documentary.
That's in North Korea.
Exactly. Yeah, those North Korean bots, you can't trust them. So AI is going to take over everything. End of the world is coming. Although you didn't have that perspective per se. Like I think you had a pretty reasonable take on kind of like AI in board gaming, but I don't think you mentioned. You might have. I might have missed it. What about AI and content creation? I've recently seen there's an actual AI channel. It's got this hot chick on the front, and there's nothing but AI, voices and all of that stuff. They're going to take your job. What do you think about that?
No, I'll just keep talking shit. They can't take my job. You know what I mean? I've seen that channel, and it's shit at the end of the day. I'm not interested in that.
Have you looked at the comments? Terrible. People seriously comment to it like it's actually a person. It's insane. Oh, just normal like
it's just somebody going on ChatGPT and like putting a prompt in and creating a script, is it?
100%. Well, I mean, who knows if they write it and if that's, they're scared to get on camera or whatever it might be. But I found it, I laughed it off until I went into the comments and I saw that people were taking this thing seriously. I couldn't even find negative comments about like, get this AI slop off of. I couldn't believe it. Like how do they not get away with, doing that, which is, in my mind, complete bullshit. But and there's nobody that's unless I guess they could be deleting the comments. That's actually probably it now that I talk myself into it.
Yeah. I mean, if you have to try and find, I always try and find some sort of positive shit in the worst stuff. Like, all the board games that I've reviewed, there's always going to be something positive, and there's always going to be something negative. But if you have to find something positive from that channel, at least somebody's trying something new, or at least trying to do something. Do you know what I mean? It might be shit. It's not for me. I'm not interested, but they're doing something. They're creating something. And as long as that, I was going to say human spirit, but there's as long as somebody's trying to do something, then let them get on with it. Just, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it.
Well, it's going to get better, and I think it's already fooling people. I think so. It's in the end, it's just so much easier to write a prompt than get in front of the camera, think about what you're going to say, go edit it, all of that stuff. That, this might all be obsolete at some point. I just wonder, is there going to be a pushback, a really heavy pushback against AI? We've kind of seen it in board games, and you addressed it around art and such. But is there going to be, board game seems to be the place that it should be. It should happen in, right? Like it's the personal face-to-face, the least infiltrated by digital as much as they try to with apps and such. It seems like this should be the refuge for the anti-AI movement. But I don't know. I don't know how it's going to actually happen.
I mean, there's like a duality, isn't there, in tabletop games? You got the physical part of it and then the digital. So as long as you can keep the digital aspect of it at bay, then AI, it can't infect the physical side of it. So that's the way around it. Just, if you're not really interested in AI infiltrating board games, then just all you got to do is reject the digital part of it, haven't you? You just say, well, I'm not going to bring any apps into my game. I'm not going to, but just anything to do with screens or anything like that. You can. There's no way for AI to present itself on the board of heat rocky roads, is there? So you're safe. It's not a pervasive thing. It's not going to take over the world, because there will still be spaces where you can go where it just physically, digitally cannot get into that space.
Do you think we're starting to see games that are fully, at least conceptually, designed by AI? We're just not told? Because I can imagine a designer sitting there and basically, I mean, there'll be some back and forth prompting, but basically designing the entire game in an evening, almost mathematically perfect. And we might be playing it now and not even know, because they're not going to admit it.
Oh, I don't know. That's probably like my favorite game of all time, then, isn't it? Probably. I just didn't know it. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really, it gives a shit. If the game's good, I'll play it. I've always said that. I don't care whether it's designed by a woman, by a man, by a capybara. I couldn't care less. I don't care whether AI has had a hand in designing it. If the game is good and I find it fun, then I'll play it. And everyone else can shut the fuck up. It doesn't really matter. So what? I mean,
I think that perspective is going to widely come eventually. I think there's this, we're in these early stages where AI seems shitty enough where people can kind of brush it off. You see these people kind of creating these videos about how dumb AI is, but it's going to get to the point where it's indistinguishable and it's just a part of life, and you're not even going to know it. And at least that's my perspective.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be indistinguishable to a human.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, if it makes people's lives easier, I mean, there's so, you think about things that aren't necessary, in life that you waste time on, where you don't, if you could take all those little snippets of time and bundle them up into another lifetime, you'd probably be able to live a few years of your life doing something else rather than worry about something that artificial intelligence could have done for you. It's the same with board games, isn't it? If it speeds up development, if it means that an independent publisher that can't hire an artist or doesn't have that many play testers, they can stick it through a prompt and actually get a working prototype out, or whatever, then fair play to him. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's all about getting the ideas out there. As long as somebody's doing something, making something, it doesn't bother me in the slightest how they get to the end point, as long as they get there and they enrich people's lives with a product or an idea that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to put into the world, you know?
What about the argument that it's like, you know, especially art, but it's built on other humans' ideas because that's what it's been trained on? I mean, that's technically what art is and writing is now. It's all derivative of something that came before, but that's like the big pushback.
Well, it's Picasso and Van Gogh, they actively copied other people, like made carbon copies of other people's paintings and sold them for money. You know, so it's not the idea of stealing other people's work isn't a new thing. You know, it's an age-old idea. Art is just looking back at something. I mean, look at music, for instance, right? You've got 8 notes in the major scale in Western music, yeah, maybe 12 notes if you're talking about the chromatic scale. That's all you've got. So to say that you've written an original piece of music by rearranging 12 notes, most of which don't sound good next to each other, they sound dissonant rather than like consonant, right? So you're only playing around with certain number of chords. So to say that you've written an original piece of work with maybe 3 or 4 notes that sound good next to each other is completely not bullshit. Yeah, so you've got no choice but to copy. That's human nature. That's how we become intelligent, by using previous ideas, developing things and creating something that's non-new but is based on something else. That's what knowledge is. It's not, knowledge just doesn't come out of nowhere. People aren't born with knowledge. They reach into the past, read what their predecessors have done and what their peers are doing, and then they adapt stuff, they feed off it, and then that produces not a new idea but something based off it that's a little bit more advanced, you know. There's no such thing as an original work. It's people that say something's original, they're talking out their ass.
So does that give you hope that this golden age of ending is going, we're going to continue on and still have cool stuff because it is all derivative in the end?
I don't know. I think we're done, aren't we? I think, like I already said, that history's been effaced, you know. I think that's it.
It's over.
I mean, I'm happy.
Yeah,
it's fine. I've got so many games here that, you know, what's the average life expectancy of a human being in the south of England? Probably like 83. So what? I've got 30 years left. I've got to start choosing this shit wisely, man. You know what I mean? I can't just like chuck a piece of shit on the table once a week. I've got to start whittling it all down. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you seem to have cracked the code. I mean, you can make videos on old games. You know, Sheriff of Nottingham, 3,600 views. Like, who the hell's watching Sheriff of Nottingham reviews anywhere else? But
I have no
the Board Game Bollocks.
No idea. Some bloody lunatic.
Yeah, it's like, why on earth would anyone? If I make a video of Sheriff of Nottingham, I think I'd be happy with 10 views. Like, I do not think that thing would get any sort of views. So you might be one of the few that are immune from the golden age of board gaming ending. I'm trying to think. You do a fair amount of the hotness.
They probably come here for the cock jokes. Probably that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's my favorite, by the way. My favorite thumbnail is you with a boner on it. What?
Oh yeah.
What was that?
It was 10 games that gave me a semi. It was sort of games that were almost good, but were.
I saw that. I was like, "There's no way that thing's gonna stay up." Like, I did not know that you could pop a boner on a YouTube thumbnail. Like, you're opening my eyes to what we could do. Oh yeah,
it definitely got demonetized. Yeah.
Yeah, that was honestly, I think that's when I fell in love with you. Is looking at your boner thumbnail. I don't know what that says about me. I do have a wife and 3 kids. I know that doesn't necessarily prove anything, but yeah, it's
actually a child's sock. It's not.
Yeah. I thought it looked a little small.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to respect your time. We're coming up on it, but I have a fun little game for you if I can find it. So I pulled some fun quotes of yours, and you have to tell me what game. There's only 5. What game you said them about? Ready?
Yeah, I've already fucked this up. Go on.
They charged £100 for a game that was made out of a bog roll. First of all, what the hell is a bog roll?
It's the inside of a toilet roll. The cardboard insert of it. Yeah.
So what game was made out of a toilet roll?
Fucking hell.
This is recent.
100 quid. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
100 quid game that's made out of a bog roll. I don't know. Go on.
Earthborn Rangers. This just came from your New Year's rant, so it's a few months old.
Yeah.
When I heard that, I was like, "What the hell is a bog roll?" Sometimes I felt like at that point I was like, "He just makes this shit up. These aren't like real words." Sometimes he just kind of flows and just whatever sounds good. Because I do have to say, I was surprised that none of this is scripted because you have some pretty nice one-liners here.
No, it's not scripted at all. I just say that a bog roll comes from, we call toilets in England bogs. For some bizarre reason. So the toilet roll, bog roll, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Nothing scripted, no.
Okay. All right. So this next quote: when this first come out, I thought I played this game many, many times before. Usually when I was in a drunken stupor after getting mullered a weekend.
Fuck God. How old is this one?
You want a hint? This is a top 10 board game of 2025. That's the video.
Right. What was it? It's not Cyclades, is it?
No.
That's the
tag team.
No.
Tag team. You felt like you're out there, fighting on the weekends, reliving your youth by playing tag team. I'm assuming.
Yeah, many moons ago. Not anymore.
I think you're going to lose this game, but we're going to keep going.
Yeah.
If you're a fan, there's three more. So you have to go undefeated here. If you're a fan of these niche products and obviously awash with cash, you're the Philip Green of the board gaming hobby, then feel free to spunk your hard-earned cash up the wall on this beast.
Did I actually say that?
Yeah. I will say AI pulled this out off. So I got the transcripts and I had AI pull like some of the most random shit you said. So I assume this is correct, but it could not be.
Is this Puerto Rico special edition?
Yes, you got one.
Get in.
All right. All right, here we go. This one should be easy.
Fun. I'm having fun here.
Okay, good. I saved this one to last. I had to feel you out to see if this was going to work with you. So this is a leap of faith. Right. This is a gimme for you. You better get this one. Got this weird roll-out mat playing area that disappears inside the box, bit like my Wii when I go swimming.
That's Hot Streak.
There we go. Hey, you have a chance here.
It's like a penalty shootout.
Yeah, it is. Well, this is it. It's 2-2. You have to get this one. And I don't know, this one might not be easy. All right. Quote number 5.
Oh man, pressure's on.
It didn't care whether it looked like a manta crawling out of Joanna's on a Saturday night, but it did give a fuck about structure and efficient gameplay.
I think it's Munta, not Manta.
Okay.
I think that's the word. Sorry, could you repeat
Fucking
that?
AI. All right. I didn't care whether it looked like a munter crawling out of Joanna's on a Saturday night, but it did give a fuck about structure and efficient gameplay.
Boy, that's tough, isn't it?
This is for the win.
That looks complete shit. Yeah, there's something that looked rubbish, but
so this is a really rant. Good. This is in your rant video, New Year's Rant 2026. I want you to win this.
Oh man. Damn it. Do you know, my brain shot to pieces.
Don't lose this now.
Oh, I fucked it. I don't know.
So now I know you just talk bullshit in these rants. You don't remember anything.
It's because nothing's scripted, is it? I don't write anything down. You know, it's all it goes into my head and out the other side. That's it.
All right, so it's El Grande. You lose the game, but at least you got 2.
Yeah, I think that's admirable.
Yeah,
you know, for a person of my age.
Yeah, you are pretty old, so we'll have to work on that. All right, so what's the wildest thing you've? Speaking of the wild shit you say, what's the wildest thing that you said on the channel? You probably don't remember.
I think I compared my copy of War of the Ring to a Gazan hospital. I think that's probably the comment that, because it was smashed up, you see. So,
yeah.
But
how long ago did you say that?
Somebody sent me a message. Oh God, I don't know, a couple of years ago. But people were sending me messages saying you shouldn't joke about blah blah blah. I said, well, it's not a joke. Do you know what I mean? It's not a joke. It's like, fucking hell. That's probably like the most out there thing I've said. Probably. I don't regret it, you know, because
you could probably. Well, you know, I mean, in all fairness, yes, it is of bad taste, but it's depending on how shitty your box looked. Like if there was just a couple dents, that would be offensive. But if it's really fucked up, then I would, you know, I think that's probably fair.
That's the only reason I would have bought that. That's the only reason I would have bought that piece of shit, is the fact that it was a smashed up copy on eBay, you know, and it literally, you know, it's like a demolition job, you know, like somebody has gone in there with a sledgehammer and smashed it to pieces, you know. But, you know, I said it. I'm not taking it back. I don't apologize for anything. So if you don't like it, kiss my ass.
Well, I'm glad we buried that here at the bottom of this episode, because maybe you can get canceled. I don't know. All right, so what's we're ending this up here. What's next for Board Game Bollocks? Where's the channel going? Is it just you don't give a shit and you're just going to keep throwing videos out there? Do you actually have any plans for the future?
Well, I'm moving house in probably a couple of months' time, so we're moving to a bigger place. So I'm gonna have a dedicated studio. That's the idea. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not professional. I've not got no ambition. I'm not interested in progression, or I'm just going to keep fumbling around in the dark, trying new things. If it works, I'll keep it in. If it doesn't, I'll chuck it out. You know, just try and sort of make mistakes and hope that, I don't know, that I'm in a fit state mentally and physically to keep doing it, because I love doing this stuff. It's fantastic. Like, the fact that I've actually been bothered to get off my ass and do something means I can have a chat with you. You know, that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't have been bothered to do it. So why not? I mean, if people take something out of this, that's an added bonus. But at the end of the day, I'm a selfish bastard. I do it for myself. I make videos that I want to watch. Not that I watch them, but I try and do something that's different, that's not been done. So yeah, there's no roadmap. I'm not going to turn it into a business. I'm not interested in money. I'm not interested in paid content, so I'll just keep on trying to be honest, telling you exactly what I think, whether or not it upsets people or not, so that's it. Yeah, just keep on keeping on, if you know what I mean.
Well, now you're getting a bigger house. Is that on the backs of you selling review copies that you're getting from publishers?
No, it's about me changing jobs, getting a better paid job.
Okay, fine.
And trying to separate my kids onto different bloody floors.
Yeah. Okay, fine. That's I'll give you that. I hope what people
this isn't Quackalope.
Yeah. I reached out to Quackalope. I want to interview Quackalope. Yeah. I want to know more about all of that. He didn't say anything.
Is he still going?
He ghosted me.
I haven't seen much of.
Yeah.
He's still going.
I mean, he like goes in spurts. He'll do like 4 videos at once, and then they kind of disappear. And I'm not sure what's going on there. He's living off of those Aeon Trespass profits, I think. It was the downfall. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
he did get quite a bit of shit though, didn't he?
Oh yeah. I would love to hear that story from him, because he's done a ton of like these kind of like, this is what's going on videos, but I'd love to sit there and ask him questions about that whole situation. But
I think his biggest mistake is he apologized, I think. You know what I mean?
Probably. I mean, I think, at the end of the day, what he did is probably par for the course. I have no idea. I've never done any sort of deals on board game content or whatever, but I would imagine it wasn't as outlandish. I bet there's some creators that had to take a hard look at their inbox after that and were a little bit scared of being exposed.
That's probably why he got so much shit, because a lot of people on the internet were going, "Oh, fucking no, I'll do that shit." You know what I mean? I don't do that. I don't take money off people, so I've got nothing to worry about. You know what I mean? So. Yeah.
Have you heard this this controversy? The Watch It Played / I don't know what the other guy's channel is. The paid for subscribers deal. Is that how you got 40K?
Chaz Marler.
Yeah, Chaz Marler.
No. Well, the thing is, that's fine. Right. I think what he done was just not. I don't think there's any sort of underhand tactics there. I think he just used a YouTube tool to boost, I don't know, some sort of revenue. I mean, I don't know. It's just
he was getting paid per view. His model with the publishers was he was actually getting paid by the number of views, and he was paying for the views. So whatever the arbitrage there between his per view payment compared to what he paid for, he was obviously found a way to make some money. If that happened, I think there's litigation going on between him and his old partner. I also tried to get Rodney on because I wanted to talk about that, among other things. But I don't blame him.
Did he turn you down, or did he just not respond?
Yeah, Rodney said that he's trying to keep a low profile now, and this was before the news came out that he was being sued. So I'm guessing that's kind of like what all of it's about. But we had a nice problem, email conversation. But
yeah. You get into the realms of like making a business and trying to get money out of it. This is what happens. People end up in the shit, don't you? So what's the point? You know what I mean? I'm not interested in any of that crap.
Yeah. Well, the incentive system is totally broken. It's not. I honestly think like the whole board game review system in general is broke, especially if you are. We can't afford to get all these games. So you do have to get some review. Do you take review copies?
Yeah, occasionally. Yeah. I turn a lot down. I turn down more than I take, because I haven't got time. I haven't got space. But, I usually take games if they do something different, or if the people that make them can convince me that it's not just going to be a generic pile of shit. You know what I mean? I took a game from some bloke who I don't know what the game is. I was ready to say no, but there's like 500 cards and they're all hand drawn. Every single card in the game's hand drawn. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have a look at that, because that's an amazing achievement to me. So I'm going to give it a go. You know what I mean? I'm going to do a review of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've no idea whether the game is big or whether I don't know nothing about it. But if somebody's willing to put that much effort in to get their idea out into the world, then someone's got to have a look at it, haven't they? I'm not interested in the latest game, blah blah blah. I don't, So I take review copies, but not. I turn down more than I take.
Yeah. Well, I think to do this, it's just so expensive. You have to. I think there's a lot of people that say you're like compromised, but at a certain point, when you have hundreds of games, like the value of that relative to the number of hours you put in for the game is just nowhere close to like proper compensation. It's still almost silly. Other than, I think there is something to say for people wanting to maintain publisher relationships, and I think that's the bigger problem, really. And people are so concerned about what you're taking. I want to know how good of a friend you are with that particular publisher. Do you ever text them, right? Have you ever been invited to a party by them? Like, those are the things that are those personal relationships that people have. I did get a Christmas present from Awaken Realms. They sent me I did too.
A wooden box. Yeah, they sent me a wooden box. I'm like, what the fuck?
It was the shittiest wooden box I've ever seen in my life. I couldn't believe that. I was like, what is this?
Yeah. But I didn't
understand.
Like a woolly hat and a scarf and like all sorts of shit, some biscuits and stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like, I get a box.
Those were shitty biscuits, by the way.
Yeah. I gave them to my kids.
Yeah, but I did too. Mine didn't like them.
They send me stuff, right? And I've had people say, "Oh, you're in Awaken Realms, like you're in their pocket and all this." It's like, I slagged their games off. I slagged off Nemesis. I slagged off, what's the one? Dragon Eclipse. Absolute dog shit. Fucking hated it. You know what I mean? But they know they know that if I give them a decent review of their games, they know it's going to be for real. Yeah, it's not going to be just because they send me all the latest shit. They don't send me every single game. They just pop up now and again and say, "Oh, do you want to have a look at this?" But they know, they know absolutely that the review will be completely and utterly honest. Yeah, they don't care. That's just the way it is. You know what I mean?
I think we're going to end it there. We hit our 2-hour mark. I hope people come away with this, that you are a person. There is a heart in there. You know, there's you're not this grumpy old man yelling at the TV. I think someone on Reddit said your core audience are grumpy old white men that just want to hear somebody slag off a game.
Really?
I don't know. That's a good, yeah, that was on Reddit. I didn't get to the
I think
Reddit
I've got
comment
quite a diverse
section.
audience.
Yeah, you do. You have there's plenty of at least 40,000 other psychopaths out there that are willing to watch your stuff. But I hope more people give you a chance. Not like you need it, but I enjoyed my talk today, and thank you for coming on such a small channel and talking to me. It's cool.
It's my pleasure. I've had a ball. It's been fantastic.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I did. You are a better interview than Tom Vassal. I will tell you that right now.